Who would have done that? I mean,
Well,
okay, getting back
if your
to
cousin, if Charles, all right, so Charles, as you, I'm assuming aware, Charles died 2 days ago,
yeah, yeah, that was really
and
rough
then
on me.
if Henry had have died tonight,
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I
you
see where
see
this is
where
going.
this, yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So
I totally have the most motive. Totally. I I
what is your
did.
most motive?
Well, did Henry tell you about the Bakersfield Trust?
No.
Nope.
The trust is where Charles got most of his money. It's from the estate of Hugo Merriweather, the rail baron.
Okay.
It passes intact to the oldest surviving heir. That was Charles. Now it's Henry. I'm the cousin. I'm next. I'm last in, as far as anyone knows in line. But I wouldn't hurt these guys for anything. Plus, if uh, if anybody in the family is accused of any kind of crime, a major crime, then they forfeit their trust.
So if someone was aware of this and set this up to make it look like you tried to kill Henry,
Right?
what would happen to the trust?
They would look for a surviving heir.
And who would say? The family
The
lawyer?
lawyers, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, we
right.
have more than one lawyer. I mean, big money comes big amounts of
I'm
lawyers.
assuming the law firm that manages the trust.
Several law firms, I should think.
Okay. So we.
Yeah, I just got back into the state. I was out grouse hunting.
Grouse hunting.
It's where you go and shoot at a bird with rifles. Sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't, but you always get a drink afterwards.
Where was that at?
It gives you some sketchy details.
When did you get back?
Earlier today. Not much of a thing for this, but I was gone for like a few days.
So I'm assuming, Roger, that your mum was Henry's father's sister, since you are not a Merryweather?
Yes.
All right.
He eventually follows Logan doesn't follow your convoluted logic, but whatever makes sense, yes, that's how they're cousins.
Well, his surname is not Merryweather, therefore.
Right. They're cousins. Yes.
Yeah, but therefore his dad was not. Therefore, his dad was not a Merryweather.
Good.
It was his mum was the Merryweather.
Take a card. That's good. I like it.
So, did your mum or your father have any other siblings?
Not that we're aware of.
All right, so it was just the two of them, was there?
Yeah. Yeah. As far as they know, there are no other surviving heirs, but the lawyer firm would go digging. There might be. We don't know. Some of our ancestors were rather randy. Yeah, it was common. It was the style at the time.
All right. So say for example that Henry was killed and you were arrested for the murder. The lawyers would They would
look for the next heir.
Would they put it in the papers or something, or?
Quite possibly, yeah. They put out feelers. Yes. Why don't we all go inside and have a drink and talk about this?
Yeah.
He puts the swimming pool cover back over the turned off dog and stuff in case it rains and shit.
I was thinking about whether or not just get a bucket of water or get the hose and hose it down to see what would happen.
If it fucking short circuits out, then that's exactly the kind of thing the military would like to buy in the U.S.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
And then to wash them just before they are sent out.
So, all right, let's just go back to who, besides yourself, who else knew how to control this?
Well, he says I've got a couple...
or access to the...
Well, my activation codes, he says, you guys are sitting around, you've got either alcohol or tea or whatever it is you want. They hook you up.
Tea, I'm duty still.
Ah, very good. And my activation code says, Roger, they're not much of a secret. I use them in front of my employees all the time.
Good to see you're abiding by state secret control levels.
Wow, I've only got the two different employees and stuff that are working on this project.
There's two.
Yes. He eventually gets the company website to show you pictures, which look like that.
Are any of them your children? Do you have children?
I do not. He says, and he does shifty dog eyes.
Do you have any adult children?
No.
If you had accidentally caused somebody to be pregnant and have a child, would they therefore become? You sure?
Well, I don't. Nobody has hit me up for any child support.
This is pretty big child support.
Yeah. He looks uncomfortable. Shifts around a lot. His cousin stares at him like. He says,
crabs, gonorrhea?
No. God damn, my internal organs sound like bad plumbing. That's weird. That's
it wasn't his mouth making a stalling noise that was coming.
It's kind of scary.
Being that you have a government contract for the military for this, I'm assuming that you would have had to get a particular security clearance. There would have been background checks done on yourself and your two employees.
Of course.
I assume you have access to those background checks?
No. Of course not.
Okay.
The military did all that.
Okay, so what do you know about your two employees?
Everything. They're great employees. They've both been with me for over 5 years. Yeah, they're hard workers. I mean, there could be other people, he admits, after thinking about that, know the access codes as well.
I mean, besides the military.
Well, aside from that,
receiving them.
In fact, he thinks about the hundreds of different people.
Yes.
I don't think there's any. And now, at last, you've gotten to the hard part of this whole adventure. How to fucking figure out who done it. The rest is pretty straightforward. Now you've gotten to the knobbly bit. Although you still haven't checked out one of the areas that you know of.
No.
That seemed to alarm Joshua McKay in some ineffable way.
I'm going to get out the forensics kit.
Right. He gets up and walks out. Where's she going?
Checking to see if the people that handled Gus were lax and left behind prints or hair accidentally left behind hair or.
All right. Yeah, you see her lugging this fucking huge box, into the backyard, and then going over. I'm
assuming that's what she's doing anyway.
Yeah,
that's what I would be doing.
She rolls back the cover, goes into the fucking shallow end, and then walks down to the deep end where this fucker's trapped, and then sticks a flashlight in her mouth, and then give me a forensics roll, and fucks up the prints, and smudges them off. She gets fucking fingerprint powder all over herself, and now she's in blackface, and then she gets fucking fired from the department. Oh, it goes well, actually. Okay, great. Yeah, you don't find any prints on it at all. It looks like it's been freshly cleaned, although probably not washed with water. She's not using fingerprint powder, is she? Says the guy. That gets into everything. Or so I've heard.
Go over it with a black light.
Sure. You find 0 semen stains, if that's what you're looking for. That would have been
You
super awkward.
You never know.
I fucked a
I
metal
was
dog.
alive.
What?
Comes back and says, I found Siemens stones. Roger looks very sheepish and squirms in his chair.
Wow.
That's what he was embarrassed about. That was it.
Well, I mean, it's only a matter. Pretty much, yeah. It reminds me of that old comic where the caveman guy carefully carves out a wheel and with a hole in the middle, and they fucks the wheel. I mean, that's how men are. So
Need input.
yeah, apparently they're far too fiendish for the likes of you, Paleface.
Alright, I put the shit away.
All right. Yeah, apparently you're really good at forensics, and so you pack it up correctly and everything. I can just see the poor lady looking at her kit. Why isn't this full anymore? Who's been using my shit?
Go back inside.
No problem. Everybody's sitting around drinking tea and stuff.
Anything?
Nothing.
All right. And
The guy looks really concerned. Did you use that graphite powder stuff on it?
Yes?
Shit, he says. Well, all right. That'll be another month of cleaning that fucker up. All right. Well, I'm guessing the military's still going to want it at some point, although they've been rather busy lately dealing with the whole Australia thing.
so do these dogs just get used? Does these gussers just get used inside or something?
Well, graphite powder is really, really sticky and small and stuff. I mean, it's one thing to clean dust off of something, but sticks to everything. That's why it can pick up fingerprints and dust can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of the oil residue. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Logan's used it in real life, and wow, does it suck a cock. Oh, my God, it's the most horrible shit ever.
So do either of you have any thoughts on the next step?
Take the machine into custody, give it to our tech guys, have them dig into its programming.
You can do that, but you're gonna definitely run into some problems with the government. They're not gonna want you to do that.
Okay.
I mean, I would recommend you can take it into custody if you want, but I would recommend just boxing it up and putting it somewhere safe until your superiors get a chance to talk to the government about it, because I'm pretty sure you're going to have men in black show up and fucking cart it off.
Sure.
Be sure to get a receipt and give me a copy,
Give a
please.
shit about the tech secrets if you could just tell us
Yeah.
what its parameters were for killing Henry.
I don't have my stuff with me to
Charles.
dig into that, and now that you made me suspicious of my staff, I don't want to tell them anything. Yeah,
Exactly.
And you two brothers, there's no
Cousins.
other family. There's no.
none that
there's
we
no
know of.
Or cousins.
No murderous cousins lurking in the woodwork that we know of. They both nod.
How do you feel about faking your own deaths?
Take a refill, Sheila. Pretty good, they say. Pretty goddamn good. If it clears it up, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, things move along rather quickly as Sheila has come up with a fucking solution. And goddamn, if somebody doesn't show up, it's the female lab lady, Laura Lyons, comes forward. She's got birth certificates and apparently emails that show that Roger knew that it was his niece when he hired her and stuff like that, and it's all bullshit. And you guys, pretty much just from Sheila doing that, it's easy to fucking crack this case like an egg. Well done, Sheila. I'll move you to other board. I was curious if anybody would fucking get that, but yeah, she cracked it open
I
like an
was
egg.
thinking not quite to that level, but yeah, basically arresting Roger for Henry's death.
Yeah.
For Henry
That would have worked
Charles's
too.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
I was waiting to see
the part
if.
where we set it up though, like dead bodies and like there's
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
just
was
simply
waiting the
putting a
other two
report
see if they
like
could do
one guy was
something.
getting attacked, and he called his cousin for help. His cousin came over and died as well, and this lady thought that her fucking lucky day. It's like woo. So yeah, you guys have solved the case and stuff. You're still middle-aged Oriental women. It's it's awkward going home to your families and shit and playing with kids that you don't know or like, and having your husband want to spoon with you and maybe get a little fresh. However, fortunately, it's the woman who controls the sex in the house, and when you don't want to, you don't want to. And everybody's in a good, healthy relationship, so nothing awkward happens like domestic violence, which would be a huge surprise for the guy perpetrating it when suddenly martial arts get broken out and guns come into it.
So they cart off the robot?
The robot, the girl gets arrested, the case is solved, you guys are doing good, and you've still got more time.
puppy.
Yeah, you can bet the fucking government comes for their several $1 million worth of fucking thing. And god damn it, are they pissed about the graphite. But, part of an ongoing criminal investigation. So they end up hosing it down with water and breaking it. What?
I'm going to get rid of an inflatable sheep and a seduction plus 20.
Both of those could have been real handy if when you went home for those couple nights.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I thought I would.
Fortunately, you only had to spend one night in the super awkward, oh, look, I'm married and shit, and none of us are single and can just go crash at their house and ignore our families.
Should we see if there's another case here, or try to go to Burlington, or?
You're on free range duty right now, as you've managed to crack that.
This more loot card. Ooh. So let's go
find some loot.
Loot.
Yeah, I think there's enough important stuff going on that Pete may want to, since he's not going to get a play again for a bit, might want to go and investigate some of it since you've gotten a good, solid case in there.
Yeah, so I was supposed to be going on holidays, but...
Supplies!
Australia disappeared.
Yep, that's what happens when your country disappears, Pete. That's what you get.
Yep.
Were you going to go to Bali?
No. We're driving up into the mountains. Or what is considered mountains here in Australia.
I was going to say, Australia doesn't have any mountains, sir.
Not to the extent of other countries, because Australia is the oldest country, so they're worn down a lot more than all the other countries.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's what happens when you don't take care of your things.
Mm-hmm. So yes, we're going to the Snorri Mountains to a resort, or to a just to relax and kick back to Lake Krakenbach.
Lake Krakenbach? They have the best names in Australia.
I know all names are made up, but that sounds particularly made up.
Yes, or Linda tended to refer to it was Lake Krakenbach and Sack.
Nice.
So yes.
So, right, unless you guys want to go somewhere, you will continue to be middle-aged Asian American women, running around.
We could try and be cat burglars for a while. And no, I wouldn't do that to some poor woman.
I heard
or
that.
Man.
I heard that Clems is acting funny.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know what that's about.
So, we can check that out.
Mm-hmm. So, well, we'd have to go to St. Louis for clams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless
Or-
one of you have got a trump card or something stashed away nearby.
Yeah.
It's either that or we should have walk out of here.
You guys sit
And
around your
since-
car talking
And
about plans.
since we have a Burlington 2.0, we can shadow walk to there.
Totally.
We don't have to worry about going to the village or going to some world and hope that we land in a place near where we can get to somewhere else.
Speaking
we
of
can shadow
the
walk.
village, it has been a mighty long time since you've been there.
Mm. Yep.
What do you do?
Yes. All right. So
It's your show now, Pete, because they're just staring at you like you owe them child support.
Get a car.
You're in a police car. That's pretty good.
we do have a car.
Shadow walk to Burlington 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, who's wanting to do the shadow walking part? I know Glenn's driving and stuff, and yes, he can also shadow walk it if he wants, but you know, or somebody else.
So I can do basic shadow walking for a living. So I don't know how good either.
Actually,
of you
has
are.
Glenn been to Burlington 2.0?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
then you're fine. If you haven't been there,
We
you
got
couldn't
chased.
shadow
We got
walk there.
we did a chase with a Viking in a
Oh
car.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was us.
Yeah. Sorry, I've run a lot of people through there.
Yes.
Burlington
yes,
is the
we
fucking
have.
zone that keeps on giving. No problem. Glenn, instead of taking you to Burlington, he takes you to some sort of weird molten lava place where the car immediately lights on fire as the wheels melt. And there seem to be these weird flying demons and stuff, all of which look suspiciously like Donald Trump. It is the worst place Logan can imagine. That's where you're at now. If you have a reroll card, I definitely recommend it.
Played.
One Donald Trump is generally enough. A demonic
Roll
Donald.
fail.
Well, demonic. Okay, no problem. You guys cruise for a while and eventually end up in some other place
Did
that
you?
kind of looks a bit like Chicago, but a bit not.
So we still shadow walk, do we?
Yeah, you do. You just don't get to where you want to go.
Okay, I thought a fail was you just don't go anywhere.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Get tarot cards.
No. Good try. Now,
Oh, let's
if
check,
you've
let's
got
check this place now.
there's nothing interesting here. If you've got a times 2 a day, you can try popping that.
Well, one of us can try doing the shadow.
Yes.
Somebody else can try doing the shadow walking.
Since you're in a car, and instead of taking
Yes.
2 days of walking, it's like an hour and a half of driving. Yeah, somebody else can definitely pop it.
I'm assuming we separated from the women's bodies.
You sure hope so. Otherwise, they are absolutely
Look,
fucking
previously
terrifying.
we actually saw it happen, felt it happen.
Yeah, usually you do. Now you're just looking in the mirror and seeing yourself, and you're feeling reassured, but
Yeah.
it's weird. Something's definitely up, you're thinking, with the space-time continuum.
Yes.
It's gotten so weird that they've had to put extra syllables in it.
Did you want to have a go at shadow walking, Estana?
Huh.
Take them to hell, Dana. Back to the Trump
I
hell.
can play an assistant plus 10% on you if you wish.
You can do it.
Just the regular shadow walking, the first
Yeah.
one, or do I need?
Yep.
All right.
Would you like
Here we
an
go.
assistant plus 10 or you're fine?
Oh, we're not fine.
So that
This is somebody who
yes, you would
hasn't
like the
been
assistant
trained
plus
in
10?
it.
Yeah. If I,
All right.
Guessing she hasn't
I
put
would
a
have
lot
played
of
it on
training into
played one
this
on Glenn as well if I'd have realised his level.
Yeah, we
Another
didn't get
couple
it.
hours gets you nowhere you
Wow,
want to go.
you're even worse than wow.
We didn't get it, guys.
You guys continue cruising around looking for stuff.
All right then.
Get some
I'll do it.
gas.
Not even sure if the
Usually I
gas
don't
here
even
is still
try.
gas.
There you go.
Okay.
So what comes off the basic shadow walking since that's a crit?
Oh goddamn. Let's see what we got here.
I think I've got several of them already.
Yeah. Let me scroll through my fucking 402 different notes on this. Okay, walk through shadow to known location. Off of that is Hellride, Royal Road, basic shadow walking second time in a day, or up the tree to sense pattern.
I might take second. I don't think I've got second time, have I? No. I've got Hellride. I used to have Railroad. I don't have Railroad anymore, so I'll do second time.
Here's the copy paste.
Excuse me.
No worries. Actually, I need to step away as well. The dog's barking outside, and it's 1:30 in the morning here.
Ooh, everybody run. Come back in a couple.
So I imagine that we
Yeah. For some reason, I'm now imagining Pete trying to fucking corral a robotic dog.
if anyone could do it.
Release the robotic hounds.
Bark, 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 bark.
Not good for the snuggles though.
No.
There's drawbacks.
Yeah. You could probably fucking weld some fur onto it or something, I guess.
Yikes.
I don't know. I've always been very grateful whenever I hang out with somebody who has pets that I do not have any pets. I know that they're supposed to live an extra couple years, but not worth it.
But what's the quality of life of those years, really?
That as well, yes. I'm always amazed I'm still alive now. So
We have fish that are horribly neglected.
they're hard to cuddle and pet. I mean, when you do, they just sit there gasping at you and shit. And it's super awkward.
Didn't even like the biscuits.
Just imagine you putting a steak in the tank and it just kind of floats there, and the fish are like, fuck. No. We will see what you guys do. There's so many. It's amazing to me that Burlington has had as much traffic as it has. But I'm also looking at that as the gift that keeps on giving now, because people just keep fucking going back there. And watching the exploration, it's just like the sewers of disappointment when they keep going around the same track, and there's like these really obvious other things that they could explore and they don't, and then they ask each other, have you explored everything? Totally. And then somebody will go, what about this? Well, not that. What about this? Well, not that. And it just keeps making them angrier and angrier. Okay, you guys go driving down the main street of Burlington and in your most recent stolen cop car and park in front of the bed and breakfast, I guess. It's familiar.
As the car change, as we shadow walked, did the car change to something that fits in with this time period, or is it?
It might actually. Go ahead and give me an essence roll. Lower is better. We'll let the dice figure this one out because I have no idea. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I was just curious. Yeah.
Now I'm curious as well. Now, it sticks out like a fucking sore thumb, and that forces me to write in that it'll probably be left on fucking Main Street, modern day cop car.
Happy Friday.
And eventually the Main Street will be filled up with fucking giant trucks and shit that the PCs are leaving here like fucking litter.
With spice on the side. Yeah.
That would not surprise me.
All right.
There you go. Till somebody steals it. I'm sure one of the PCs will fucking find a way to steal it or some shit. Or go wreck it.
So, I think Pete's been around here more than Dana and I have.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people dressed up in the 1950s wandering around in hats. Men and women apparently during this time period were paid to go out and walk around in hats. This is also the most whitewashed town since Donald Trump's vision of America.
What time of day is it?
It's about noon.
All right, so
Here's some of the businesses that you know and love.
I don't think I haven't really explored this place further than when I was exploring it with you two, because we went the last time I was here. We more went to Western Burlington and explored that, and then to Furry Burlington.
Furry.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how often the furries have come up in the campaigns, haven't, isn't it, Pete?
Yep.
They just keep coming out.
All right. So one thing that I haven't posted on the boards that happened was similar to what is happening to Australia, as in blue lightning and a tsunami.
By the way, the all that news which Freddie posted up and your tsunami and the Australian tsunami, they all seem to be happening around the same time. Just FYI, you are super suspicious of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember the major news that Freddie posted up, but that may have something to do with it.
Yeah, somebody's stolen the unicorn's eye. Somebody has finally gone and taken the unicorn's eye.
So Doc Fulton going, yeah, fuck you, unicorn.
Well, he was given a device to remove it.
Destroyer of worlds.
Exactly. All right, so there's a couple of things we can do here. If you guys wanted to experience the red pill, we can try and get the red pill out of Clem's.
Yeah. We should check on Clem.
That's one thing we can do. We could go somewhere. Well, we can go get changed first. These knickers are feeling a bit uncomfortable, and the bra's not really sitting right on me anymore.
But it provides you the lift and support you need.
Yes.
Right, you guys head into the bed and breakfast to go get new clothes, or no, actually you go to Long's Clothing, buy the clothes, you change there. He takes your old stuff that you were wearing and wraps it in brown paper and ties it in string for you.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Does he seem to be acting fine?
Yeah, completely fine, although he does wish you a happy Friday.
Well, that's that he's acting fine then.
Yes.
If he had wished just a happy Monday, then
that would cause sanity loss from the entire party.
Exactly. That would be concerning.
No, Brian, you guys are all dressed up in 1950s clothes, nicely blending into your surroundings and such. Everything blends in except for the police car that's parked in front of the bed and breakfast that definitely sticks way the fuck out. Mm-hmm. Which will provide consternation for the RPCs when they see it go, what the fuck is this? Where did it come from? And spend hours on it, which I look forward to. There's all kinds of fucking clues and shit in there, you know, maybe some family photos, and they'll be like, we need to find these Asian women. Good times.
Well, they'll look at the number plate, and they should be able to work it out from the number plate and the papers in the glove box.
Yeah, I'll make a note of the number plate thing.
Because US have the expiry date and that on the number plate, don't they, for the rego, and the state or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
All sorts of information.
So that, and depending on what's in the glove box, should give them a pretty good indication it's from Sherma. So
in Australia, they don't have license plates like we do. They just nail a dead kangaroo to the back, and when it's so rotten it falls off, they have to get a new one. It's the law.
Ahead of their time. We have so much catching up.
Well, we don't actually put registration stickers on our cars at all anymore. It's all electronically done.
Yeah,
And
well,
we don't
Yeah,
stick expiry dates on our license or anything on our number plates or anything
But
like
then
that.
how are you supposed to call in on your neighbors?
yeah. Ours, it's all electronic too, but they still make us put the stickers on them.
Yeah. Well, well, actually, that's my registration form right there.
don't
So,
show it to
see,
the audience, dude.
no sticker. Well, there's nothing. I mean, gee, they'll be able to see what my registration number is, which they'd be able to tell from looking at my car anyway.
You got an address on there?
Yes.
At last, you'll be able to get your first stalker. I bet you a cake.
Yeah. Well, if somebody really wants to pay my rego for me, you know, $780, they're welcome to it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys are sitting around
Yep.
outside of Long's Clothing discussing.
All right. So, did we want to
things.
go to Clem's and see what's to make of it? Keeping in mind that we don't have any of our gear with us currently.
We don't.
No.
No, you've got all the gear you started the mission with. Pistol,
Usually
notebook.
Usually we change back. No, we didn't change bodies.
Oh,
We
you're in
change
your
back
regular
to our
bodies.
but
Pete, tell them
normally
how
our
you get your gear.
Normally our gear is at our main abode, so depending on the circumstance, other times it has been either in Burlington or it has been at the White Dove or has been at the embassy or has been at Red Carpet. Depends on what location is the main abode, that's where our gear will be. If things work as normal, which with weird stuff going on, it may not. So we would, even our trump cards and stuff, more than likely it's at the embassy.
Which is a surprise for me you came here instead, but, you know, that's cool.
Because none of us have the ability to travel to a small area, and the embassy is in a large world where we could have ended up in anywhere on.
Yeah, okay, that's a good reason.
Good enough, Reese?
Beauty.
I'm working towards being able to travel to a small area. I haven't quite got it yet.
Okay.
Sorry, Glenn.
I have that. I was gonna say, do we check the wardrobes in our rooms at the bed and breakfast?
We have not gone. I was thinking that actually. Let us do that right now.
Excellent. Scott, give me a luck roll. Actually, Pete doesn't get a roll, but the other two get a luck roll at a quarter. See if your residence has been changed to Burlington. Pete's still the ambassador. His shit's stuck probably at the embassy, he's guessing.
Not at a quarter.
Apparently, you live at the embassy now.
Huh.
Unless you two have set up a residence somewhere else that you frequent on a regular basis.
Not that we frequent, just that we pay for.
Which still is a good idea, I think.
Yeah.
Except the rock's gonna explode.
So I did pick up the go to a specific place Shadow Walk recently, but it's really
did you?
low chance.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I've got the go to a. Sorry, which version? You've got the one where you can shadow walk to within a 2-block radius or whatever it is.
Yeah, within a few blocks or miles.
Cool. I want to get that one.
That's a good one to work up.
Yeah. As once I get it, I intend to shadow walk to Cyberpunk World.
For Dana, any shadow walking is a good one to work up.
Because I have a location I spent time at that is outside of which is in the US. That Mildred at a ski resort that Mildred was involved in a high
Oh, the
stakes
fucking
project.
gambling, yeah.
Yes, that's right. And
That's
stayed
well
at a
outside of
hotel.
any fucking nuclear radiation zone. So yeah, that's fucking clever.
and we stayed. Well, I assume that we stayed at a hotel out like we a couple of clays away from it. So I assume either in somewhere like New Reno or one of the towns near New Reno. So
For you two, while he's thinking about this, he just kind of hooks his fingers in his shirt and goes, as he's standing there on the sidewalk. For like 20 minutes, you guys are like.
So, it's the new and improved.
Cyberpunk. And
He
Freddie's nipples will harden when I pass him a trump card for it.
He then discusses Freddie's nipples for a while.
Anyway, sorry.
I'm just imagining this from other people wandering by his point of view. Like, let's not say Happy Friday to him right now to show our outrage. You know?
So,
is the new and improved Burlington big enough to shadow walk out of?
No, it's we worked out it was a 20-kilometer radius. So unless you've got a shadow walk ability that you don't need, which I'm assuming is in the tree somewhere, and it's possibly a passive shadow walk ability that apply to everything, just like Freddy has now got a passive ability that applies to using trumps quicker. Yes, it doesn't take 2 minutes for him, it only takes 25 seconds. And hopefully there's going to be other passive abilities that may allow you to not cause a giant hologram to appear.
It's all kinds of good shit in the trees.
Yeah, it's just finding it.
Oh yeah, that's the bad thing about no mentor.
Pardon?
That's why having a mentor is a good thing. Or Freddie is currently like mapping out everything. So if somebody was to say, "What do I do to get to this?" and look at Freddie's notes on it, that would be a help, which is cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we can try and use claims to get to the embassy and get our gear, and then either come back here or use the claims at the embassy to try a few things. We can talk to the claims here. We can try and go to Western Burlington and do stuff there. There's some people that I need to talk to in the embassy about training some people. There's new worlds to discover as a fallback place for the embassy people.
He produces a list that looks like the Santa Claus thing and drops and rolls off, and then there's this, and then
there's trying to get back to. Oh, how are you two at singing or playing musical instruments?
Why do you ask?
Because the way from Furry Burlington to the 4th level of Burlingtons is by winning the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
I mess around on the trumpet every once in a while, but
Do you think being in a Disney princess costume would help you sing better, Dana?
I don't know. Are there some birds trained to like sit on my shoulder?
Lift a veil up or something?
I am a much better trumpet player than singer.
Yeah, so Mildred was in a Disney princess costume when she sang and helped us win the Battle of the Bands. I kid you not.
You guys are now trying to imagine the fucking violent sociopath known as Mildred in a Disney princess outfit.
Uh-huh.
Of course, that brings the question, which Disney princess outfit?
Yes. But yes. So that's how you get from Furry Burlington to what we only saw briefly, but we suspect is Zombie Burlington.
Yeesh. Singing and music are not hobbies of mine. I could maybe be a backup dancer.
Mm-hmm. Don't know if that will work for Battle of the Bands, but you never know. Probably
could
not.
Support somebody.
Try and yeah.
You already know the way it works, Pete.
Yeah. I know exactly how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the other option, is that we could, because as far as I know, nobody else has managed to get there nor explore it as yet.
All right. Well, yeah, I was thinking to explore Burlington's, but getting our gear would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Clem's is literally 50 meters that way type thing.
And as I said, there's also the red pill, which you two may wish to experience, as it may give you a bit of a different view on things.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Mm-hmm.
What, he just woke up somewhere else and then passed out?
Mm-hmm. So there's been two different... All right, so the first time we saw symbols, and then we woke up in a cryopod, and then we were in cryopod for, I don't know, 5-10 seconds, and then faded away, and then we woke up in bed in Burlington, and it was 9 o'clock in the morning again. The second time we were in the pod, then we saw the symbols, and then we were back in Clem's. So the two experiences were slightly different. Both in the order we saw things and where we ended up. Yes. And then when we took the blue pills, all we did was we woke up at Clem's. We woke up at the bed and breakfast at 9 a.m. It may have also reset Burlington. We assumably reset Burlington. We're not sure to what extent. So some of the locations that we found were empty are not necessarily going to be empty anymore. The Rich house, for example, that we hid out in, that I went back there because I wanted to get a good look at it to do a trump of it, because I thought it'd be a good spot to do a trump. It looked like people were actually living there now. So whether or not that was because we took the blue pill, and that because I checked it out after we took the blue pill, and that caused the reset and the reshuffle, I don't know. Or if it is just that it shuffles as to which houses are vacant and which houses aren't.
Weird.
Yes. If you ever make it to Furry Burlington, the best location to do a trump is probably the Castle Greyskull in the Rich location.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of the things I'm curious about is if Skeletor is still there or not, as he left when we were there. He seemed actually quite intelligent, as opposed to most other Burlington people, and seemed to know about gates and transdimensional distortions and stuff. He gave his keys to Colburn when he left. So whether or not when it reset, if he's back there, or if him and Beastman, I think it was Beastman, have actually vacated it, there's that residence as well. But a trump either up the front or up the back, because of its uniqueness in Furry Burlington.
Wow.
The problem with Furry's Burlington, most of the places are very similar from the front. They're different. Some of them are different on the inside, but there's not. That's probably the only good location in Furry Burlington that we found that was unique enough to distinguish it from other Burlingtons. There might be others that we didn't find. There was the cave up in the cave with the stream coming out of it that had Christmas lights. I don't know if the other caves have got Christmas lights or not, so that'd be another one.
That was my favorite bear fight, by the way.
Yes, I'm sure it was. You just got to be careful of the bear jacked up on, the guy in a bear suit jacked up on PCP.
Oh my gosh.
The other thing, if you ever decide to go to Furry Burlington, is potentially go to somewhere like Guri or somewhere else and get a decent furry costume made. Because the only costumes available to us were the Smurf rabbit costumes. So That's all Longs had was the rabbit costumes. So we used a lot of smoke and stuff so we could take the heads off when we did the Battle of the Band, so the heads wouldn't get in our way of playing and singing.
Everything's connected.
Yeah.
Is there still distortion in the bomb shelter?
Yep. The two locations still distortion.
After you blue pilled?
Yes, because we went to Furry Burlington after blue pilling, and Skeletor, when we talked to Skeletor if he knew about gates, he said, I'm not aware of any gates, but you've got these two locations where there's distortions, and he named the two locations that we're aware of with the distortions.
Is Sheila actually making notes on all this shit?
Not keeping up. This is crazy.
I'm going to try and write it up a bit more on the
all
board, but I haven't had a chance because I've been too involved in Fallout 76.
Is it addictive?
Yeah, I'm playing with a couple of friends and we're having a lot of fun with the new expansion that they've done. The free expansion you don't have to pay for.
Cool. After the game, we'll have to talk about that a little bit if you got time.
Yep.
Cool.
See how we go. Yeah.
People keep milling by, wishing you guys happy Fridays. You stand on the sidewalk.
So it's a brief, quick rundown of Furry Burlington. If you ever need to get the briefcase off the guy that runs the Bar T Ranch, we did ghillie. Colburn made us ghillie suits that we then used to observe the Bar T in 1950s Burlington, because it exists here as well. And that's how we determined that the briefcase seemed to be the only weird thing about it. And we walked around there and they just kept saying, get off our land, and we just ignored them. So then it gave us an idea of their movements and stuff, and then we went to Western Burlington, made ghillie suit there, getting things like netting and hessian from the docks and whatnot, and then made ghillie suits, and then basically snuck into the house, went upstairs, took the briefcase off the guy who was sitting in his study, picked the locks because it was locked, and there was a golden glow coming out of it when we opened it up, touched that, and the briefcase came with us to Furry Burlington. The guy that runs the Bar T Ranch in both 1950s Burlington and Furry Burlington also has a briefcase. I don't know whether or not you could get that briefcase, because that'll be easier to get, and then take it with you to Western Burlington and use it. It may work, because I don't know whether or not, because I still have the briefcase, hopefully it's at the embassy with my gear, from Western Burlington. So I don't know whether or not he's had a new briefcase spawn, or if that's the only briefcase that can be used. Or, as I said, or if you take a briefcase off the guy here and take it to Western Burlington with you, if that'll work.
Huh.
So. And we went in the daytime to when we snuck up on Western Burlington because of the whole bar fight situation that happens. The son of the Bar T Ranch shoots a guy when they're playing Faro at about 7 p.m. and then a lynch mob forms and he escapes with some of the hands. And so then the Bar T Ranch is on high alert with torches and guys ready to shoot anyone that comes near the place at night, which is why we did it snuck in during the day as opposed to at night.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's even harder to do at night because they're active and aware and looking for people. The other thing is that when it went from 5:59 to 9 o'clock, we woke up. We were on the grounds of the Bar T Ranch in 1950s Burlington. We woke up in the Western bed and breakfast. We didn't wake up in the 1950s bed and breakfast. So we actually got transported to the Western Burlington that way. So that's another potential way of transporting to Western Burlington.
That's weird.
Yes. And there's some stuff that happened in Western Burlington that I'm going to write up on the boards to do with the tsunami and the blue lightning and a unicorn in the sky and the flaming fish with a city on its back and Mildred contacting herself with a trump and warning us.
Huh.
And raining blood and snow and dancing and trees running away and cats and dogs living together.
That was a fucked up scene where he looked at a tree and we're like, ah! And the tree went, ah! And ran off, and he's like...
Trump cards did not work at all. They were just pieces of card. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Huh.
So, anyway, let's go to Clem's, and then you can work out if you want to do the red pill or not. I have a couple of things I want to try if we do the red pill, so this will be the third time for me, so I had some thoughts on something I wanted to do.
Did you get tarot cards for that?
Nope.
I was wondering if you can do magic when you wake up in the pod.
I don't think you could try. I'm not sure if you're there long enough, but you could certainly try. The first time it happened, we were pretty, what the hell's going on? Where are we? Blah, blah, blah. So we weren't really conscious enough of the circumstances to actually attempt anything. Second time, more trying to get an idea of what was going on. Third time, I've actually thought about it. Some things I want to try and do, since this will, if it works again for me, if it works for us because of everything going on, I'll have a bit more of a grip as to how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Shall we?
They stare at you numbly. You guys head over to Clem's. Clem waves at you and goes, "For you do I can what? Howdy?"
Hi, Clem. Can we have the red pills, please?
He says, "Unavailable currently is operation that rebooting line off operations."